Procter & Gamble, owner of Gillette, puts out a new ad saying that facial hair is toxic, so shave. Comes off like a joke, but it's very, very serious. The globalists are doing everything they can to bully you and dominate you and tell you how to think and tell you how to operate. You have the American Psychological Association openly saying men being masculine is harmful, period. Anytime the Romans or another group conquered a group, another nation, another tribe, they killed all of the adult men. That's what this is. That's why they say teach little boys how to wear dresses, from Sweden to the United States. That's why they do all this. That's why they teach that heterosexuality is bad. That's why Procter & Gamble and Gillette comes out and says, shave your facial hair off. It's bad. It's evil. It's uncouth. Your masculinity's evil. Feminists are going to have big, bushy underarms. That's their beard. But you don't get any hair. They're the new boss. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this Monday, January 14th, 2019 Global Broadcast. I am your host, Alex Jones, the embattled, demonized, under siege broadcaster who is under attack because we have exposed the globalist system with the help of our wonderful listeners. We have relaunched free market love of Americana, not just here, but around the world. Our audience and this show and what we've built here is the heart of the resistance, and the globalists know it and cannot stand it. We've told you for 20-plus years that when the fourth wave feminism hit, it was actually being deployed by globalists who wanted to end the family as we know it and isolate women and children so the state would be their husband. We knew that because it was in globalist white papers, and I put it in films like Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, that will be 12 years old next month. And now, notice how the talking points are all together the last few days. The American Psychological Association calls traditional masculinity harmful and basically mentally ill. USA Today. Procter & Gamble, owner of Gillette, puts out a new ad saying that facial hair is toxic, so shave. Comes off like a joke, but it's very, very serious. That was my final straw when my kids liked the beard I grew on vacation, that it makes the left so angry that it's here to stay. Because, again, it's a symbol of differences in the sexes, which they can't stand. Oh, and the latest at Infowars.com. Paul Joseph Watson article, leftist French website calls for heterosexuality to be banned. And that's really a mainline theme being taught on colleges, not just here, but in Europe, that again, heterosexuality itself is a bad thing. Number one, because it creates more children. And that's why many leftist groups celebrate the declining birth rates in the West and the fact that Europe only has a 1.3% replacement rate, saying it'll be good when the white race is finally gone. Now, when people like the eugenicist father of DNA discovery, James Watson, comes out and says milder statements, which I still don't agree with, but he has a right to say them, why he's stripped of all his honors. But when mainline New York Times board members and major professors say whites are inherently evil and we're going to be so much better off when white people are gone, and that that's a good thing, and that whites are inherently bad. You see this everywhere. You see the Democratic Party bringing back the old race-based systems that was rejected by Christian conservatives and the Republican Party. But now the demographic has swung towards whites being a dwindling minority in just a decade. Already the minority in most areas, they're switching back to good old-fashioned race-based politics. And at least the leadership of the minority groups have almost universally got in line with the new KKK movement, the brown KKK movement that they run and control. But here's another headline today. White American birth rates below replacement level in every state, something the left will certainly celebrate. So incredible race-based politics in this country. We'll be playing the Gillette ad in full and more when we come back. And you say, this is just preposterous. This is over the top. That's the whole point. We're now into the bullying phase with Alexandra Cortez coming out and saying she's very mad because she's the traffic cop for everything, the thought police commander, the Gruppenführer of thought control. She says, how dare you not send a black reporter to be the main person covering my campaign? How dare you? Unacceptable in 2019. Try again. She is your boss. She is in control. And she will tell you what to do. Well, how dare the Lakers not have all white people? How dare, wait, don't go there. Absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, how about interracial porn? Let's have a white guy with a white lady, because we have to have diversity in that, right? That's not how this works. It's all one way. Whites are bad, period, by these racist dirtbags. Well, here we are, already halfway into the first month of 2019, and the fireworks are flying. The Democrats have already fired up 80-plus fake investigations of the president. And, man, if you go to CNN.com or MSNBC's websites, all you see is Trump caught in incredible Russian collusion. Devastating bombshells. Trump hid details of his meeting with Putin. And then the article goes on to say, well, actually, this is something every other president does when they meet in private. He didn't conceal anything. But it's lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie. To discredit a real American president who's actually trying to be the president. Trump confronts the prospect of nonstop political war for survival, MSM. That's right. They're coming for him because he tried to stand up for the country. When China gets 0% interest rates and we don't, and our own Federal Reserve calls for China to have zero, but for us not to, Trump stands against it. And for doing that, he's a Russian agent. The Trump-Putin revelations tell us what we knew all along. Talk about empty headlines, then you read nothing. The best they've got is a redhead chick who sent emails to the Kremlin saying, hey, I'd like to have a job with you, pushing Russian influence, and they never gave her a job. And her plan was to have sex with anybody she could in D.C., and the best she could do was try to go to NRA events. And she thought maybe if she got to know the NRA, she'd get to know somebody that knew a congressman. Wow, what an incredible spy. Who wasn't even a spy, but Kremlin blessed. Notice they don't say worked for the Kremlin. Kremlin blessed Russian NRA operation. U.S. Intel report says. That's all they've got. Maria Butina. Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you, it's the Red Sparrow. Everyone jump underneath your tables immediately. Oh, my gosh. And then you've got Robert Mueller III on tarmacs with uranium. So they get a sample of how good it is before they give Hillary Clinton's foundation hundreds of millions of dollars to transfer 25% of our uranium stockpile. And it goes on and on and on. It's so ridiculous. But let's get to the big enchilada story that I want to hit first before we get into government shutdown and Trump saying he hasn't left the White House since the shutdown began. And then you've got Sarah Sanders releasing photos of Democrats all over the world tweeting, partying on the beach. And you've got the speaker in Hawaii at her big palace, and everything's good. There's Trump staying in the White House the whole time trying to fix things. While there's an active FBI coup that we've been reporting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where, McCabe, the deputy director, and Rosenstein, deputy head of the Justice Department, all of them are under criminal investigation for indictment by grand juries, something we told you a year ago, all confirmed, in Maryland and Virginia, like we told you specifically. Next year's news today. And then we went on from there. And we get into the fact that they have now spun it like, oh, my gosh, the revelation. He was under investigation for espionage. Like that proves that a bunch of political hacks investigated him for that and used that as a way to try to get any dirt they could that was non-Russia related. They found none in Trump. And so now they just put up the investigation itself like it's the smoking gun, when it's the smoking gun, not of any Russian collusion, But the smoking gun of their lying to Congress and lying to the president and lying to the American people, and not just McCabe or Strzok or Comey, but also Mueller and the rest of them. These guys are going for broke. And now they're really hysterical because they know Trump is moving to actually try to get them prosecuted. And the media acts like that's bad. Oh, the president is being a dictator. He's coming after us for political reasons. You are the FBI. You're not supposed to be involved politically. The president's the head of the executive branch. You better damn believe he can do whatever he wants coming after you if you've committed crimes. Remember, Crossfire, Hurricane, cracks open Spygate. You know, let's pull up that John Bound report from last year, from over a year ago, I mean, over 6 months ago in May. Let's get that report. That was powerful. Because just what we told you 2 years ago and 2 months ago, right when Trump was being inaugurated, the anniversary's in 6 days, and promising to deliver power back to the people and get jobs back, and pretty much fulfilled all his promises, get us out of the TPP, release all these medicines they've been suppressing for 2 decades in many cases. That day in the New York Times, they said a major espionage operation had been opened up by Obama back during the campaign, and that Trump better watch it, and he's a Russian agent, and we got the proof. Now, we already reported that months before, but a lot of experts then went, wait a minute, you just admitted to illegally campaign manipulation and to doing all this. You screwed up. You shouldn't have reported that. And CNN came out and said, the source of this that the president has is Alex Jones. And the New York Times said the same thing, which wasn't even true. I simply pointed out that they'd been doing it. And now, over a year later, it came out that indeed they were doing it. So yes, this is what they're doing. This is what they're up to. But before we get to all of that, when we come back, when you study mainstream corporate media like I do 6-7 hours a day, that I've got my nose in the research, you see not just the patterns, but you'll read a New York Times, a Washington Post, a CNN, an Austin American Statesman article. It'll have a different name, different byline, but it's essentially the exact same article with a few words moved around. And it's because they get talking points. Well, it's not just talking points, destroy Alex Jones, destroy Trump. The big talking point that was going on at universities for decades is now gushing out, metastasizing into the whole world. And that's that the family's bad, men are bad. Having children is bad. Having someone that stands up for you is bad. The state is your daddy. Psychologists and the American Psychological Association say traditional masculinity is bad, is harmful, and is a mental illness. USA Today. Oh, here's the new one. Procter & Gamble challenges men to shave their toxic masculinity in Gillette ad. That's right. You're all bad. Leftist French website calls for heterosexuality to be banned. The left cheers. White birth rates plummeting globally. It's all coming up. And that's just the latest unified propaganda everywhere. All right, I'm going to stop right there. The new year is here. And you know they've tried to take our sponsors and try to shut down our shopping carts and try to just bankrupt us. And we were able, with the biggest sales in our history, to get the capital in to operate for a few months. But since the new year's here, I'm sick of plugging. I haven't been. And we have gotten way behind, despite the fact we have some great sales and great products for the new year at InfoWarsStore.com. Our best-selling bodies, amazing ultimate turmeric formula, 95% curcuminoids and other key compounds that accelerate it. It is the strongest ultimate formula out there. Super Male Vitality, formerly our bestseller, still is. Great cold-pressed, wild-crafted herbs for stamina, libido, energy. We can no longer get the wild-crafted herbs from the supplier. So for now, at least, it's discontinued. We hope it comes back, but it's just not a product. It's so hard to produce. It's so expensive for us to get. It's the last sure run of Super Male and Super Female Vitality at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWarsLife.com. So please check out the site today. Books, videos, films, T-shirts, and so much more. Speaking of that, I have blasphemed Alexandra Cortez in the form of a T-shirt that's sure to be the new hot T-shirt for 2019 if you take action. Stay with us. Okay, we are back live. And I'm going to get into the latest 4 articles being rolled out by national associations, dominant associations that control academia and PhD, the largest home chemical and personal care company in the world, and major governments and major publications, all saying men are inherently bad and facial hair is inherently rape, basically. That is all coming up. And you say, well, that's insane. No, it's not. They've already lowered the fertility rate. They're already putting chemicals in the water to make men feminine. And that will soon be the majority of men will be feminine. They will then be organized against males that are fighting against the trend. This is the final divide and conquer. And I want to be very, very clear here. USA Today whitewashes it with their headline, psychologists call traditional masculinity harmful, face uproar from conservatives. Look at the psychological warfare in that whole thing. Like only conservatives think traditional masculinity is okay. Also, it's deceptive because once heat got put on it, they started saying psychologist, like it's one crazy psychologist so they can introduce the idea to you. Let's type in American Psychological Association last week as a group, named it as a mental illness. Said it's a bad thing in their official report they put out. But you see how the psychology works, how once there's a backlash, they go, oh, it's just a psychologist. Oh, and conservatives are upset. Everything is a propaganda target. So please print me the American Psychological. We'll cover this next segment, actually. I'm going to cover this all next segment. American Psychological Association, the official association. There it is. Traditional masculinity deemed harmful by American Psychological Association. In a 36-page report. In fact, please print me the stinking report. Great job. This is such a big subject, I'm going to cover it next segment because I'm going to go on the attack right now. The globalists are doing everything they can to bully you and dominate you and tell you how to think and tell you how to operate. You have the American Psychological Association openly saying men being masculine is harmful, period. Anytime the Romans or another group conquered a group, another nation, another tribe, they killed all of the adult men. That's what this is. That's why they say teach little boys how to wear dresses from Sweden to the United States. That's why they do all this. That's why they teach that heterosexuality is bad. That's why Procter & Gamble and Gillette comes out and says, shave your facial hair off. It's bad. It's evil. It's uncouth. Your masculinity's evil. Feminists are going to have big, bushy underarms. That's their beard. But you don't get any hair. They're the new boss. Leftist French website calls for heterosexuals to be banned. Leftists celebrate, and print me that article, please, declining white birth rate. That's all over the news. So what's this all about? Dominating you, bullying you, making you submit. Don't do it. And making it men against women, women against men when we're the same species. You don't hear about male and female elephants, and female elephants want to get rid of the males, or female tigers want to get rid of the males, or female swordfish want to get rid of the males. That's insane. The male is her. She is he. They are the species. They have babies. That's called life. This is an attack on life, as if it's toxic. It's admitted it's being done to conquer you. It's admittedly being done to shut you down. It's admittedly having ads showing a guy get in the face of the other guy and say, hey, you can't talk to a girl. You've got a beard. But only the cool dads, see, they don't have any facial hair. Oh, and look, the little boys fighting with each other. That's because they're toxic masculinity, bullying. Yeah, yes, the daddies need to make sure their boys are wimps. This is total leftist garbage. I swear on the altar of God, I don't hardly use any Procter & Gamble products because they're known to be toxic. But I'm going to double check every label and make sure it's not a subsidiary. And I will never use any Gillette products again because I do use Gillette. They do have decent razors. I've been using it for a long time. I swear I'm going to find a mom and pop company, and I'm going to get them as a sponsor on this. Everyone must absolutely dump Gillette and let them know, because they make it a joke. It's not a joke. In fact, it's a deadly serious ad showing men themselves as inherently evil to create a huge debate and fight amongst ourselves. CBD-rich hemp oil is totally organic, all natural, something God gave us, and it doesn't have THC in it, and it's totally legal in all 50 states. This is where everybody's going. This is what your body actually needs. There are so many different spectrums of this natural oil that comes from hemp, now legal and lawful in all 50 states, that you need to just go research it for yourself. Now, obviously, there's been a giant marijuana legalization craze that Soros has funded the last 10 years. I've not been involved in that. It's a huge bubble. This is not marijuana. There are hundreds of varieties of hemp. This is industrial hemp that has all the good attributes, but not the bad attributes that turn people into potheads in their basements, picking and eating their boogers. This is the good CBD from the organic hemp oil. And there are so many great products that you simply need to go to InfoWarsStore.com and link over to WashingtonsReserve.com, or simply go to WashingtonsReserve.com yourself to look at all the products, to read about the history, and to see the facts for yourself. So 360 win. There are different CBD rich hemp oil extractions for many, many, many different uses. You owe it to yourself to go look at this for yourself, and to also understand it helps fund the info war. People wonder why I haven't gotten into CBD oil. Well, because some of the stuff's got problems, some of it can get you high, and some of it can get you arrested. This is not that. Legal in all 50 states. It's from hemp, not marijuana. It's totally legal. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we can ship to all 50 states right now from the great website, WashingtonsReserve.com.